Good morning, my friends, and welcome to this episode of Healing Your Codependency. I'm Marshall Bircher. Today, we're going to jump into what it means to trust ourselves, and specifically in relationship to the holiday period that we're entering into right now. Bringing this up because I have to do this for myself too. There's decisions and choices I've made in the past that I need to maintain, even though my heart grieves for what isn't there, for the connection that I missed, the connection I hope I would ever have. And for the celebration or the companionship or the belonging I've always sought that I know will not be because of the way things are. So before we jump in, I want to acknowledge that pain, if that's pain you're feeling right now, that sense of loneliness or isolation, or the sense of pain of having to maintain a boundary or distance from a loved one, because that's what's healthiest for you. And that's where this concept of trust comes in. Right now, I just want to hold just a moment, just a few seconds for that pain to be acknowledged, to be understood, to be valued here. Because it's real. We walk with that. So you're not alone in carrying that kind of burden, that kind of choice, and that kind of act of self-trust and self-love for yourself. So when I talk about trust in my work, I'm talking about our ability to regard our interpretations, our senses, our choices, and actions as being the best in the moment options we had for ourselves. What this means is I'm going to trust the responses I have to the situations that come up at that particular period of time in my life. So if I'm like looking at something I made a choice in like 20 years ago, a choice that led to some harm or led to some pain or disappointment, I can connect with it and understand and go, I can trust that that was the best choice I had at the moment. It was the thing that made most sense to me, either emotionally or logically, rather than transposing my present wisdom onto a past choice, creating a comparison there that often invokes shame, distrust, insecurity, frustration, anger, those kind of things. So instead, I'm like, I'm willing to trust myself here. I'm willing to trust in my best intent here. And that's made a huge amount of difference for me in my life because it's allowed me to continue to trust the choices I make today. That means I can trust that I'm making the best choice I know how to make with the circumstances I have, with the understanding I have, with the wisdom and skills that I presently have. That doesn't mean that next week I'd make the same choice again. I might change it because I've evolved, I've grown, things are different now. But I don't have to condemn myself for that past choice that wouldn't measure up to today's choice. Instead, I can celebrate and respect that choice. I can offer confidence and recognition and acknowledgement to it. I mean, like, yep, that was a legitimate choice based on where I was at in that time in my life. This has helped me find a lot of peace with past choices that really caused a lot of pain for myself and for others. It's also helped me integrate the wisdom of those choices so that I could be better resourced for my choices I make today and the actions I take today in my world. The reason why I take this approach is a concept I call warm witness and positive intent. So in warm witness, everything that shows up deserves to be known, deserves to be loved, deserves to be valued and cared for just as it is. That means all my past choices that today I would do differently, or today I might regret or have sorrow over, or the impacts they created that I would want to change, deserve to be understood and valued anyway. Those choices and actions came from a premise that was valid, came from a certain level of skill set and understanding and capacity. And that part of me that made those choices doesn't deserve to be condemned for what it was trying to do at that time. This is extremely profound when I made this shift for me, because now there wasn't this weight of the past on me anymore. Instead, there was this growing sense of trust and warmth towards it, going, I literally did do the best I could do. And I'm going to trust that I can even do better now based on where I'm at. And then in the future, I will continue to improve these skills and my ability to execute and connect with my intentions or connect my intentions with reality so they become the impact I seek to have with myself and with others. That's how I've grown so much in my world. That's how I have liberated myself from a deep prison of debilitating shame. Shame that would cause me to panic and hide for weeks, sometimes months, where I just go numb, feel like I'm dead inside, and then just work out the routines in hopes that things will work out. It's helped me break free of crippling self-doubt. There was one time in high school, I was going to go to a high school dance. There was a girl there that I had a huge crush on. She had a huge crush on me. She had told me that. I mean, there was literally zero practical risk in this situation, but my body was in extreme distress, extreme self-doubt because of the attachment trauma I was living with through the toxic structure of the family system I grew up in and the culture I grew up in. So I spent an hour in the car having panic attacks before I went in the last 15 minutes of the dance, and she had left. That I'm free of. I'm free of the shame of not doing the right thing all the time. Instead, I am couched in this warmth and this care and this concern for myself that has given me capacity to receive from others their love, their support, their guidance, their correction, their complaints, and be able to begin to work with the pain that my behavior may have created in their world, or that it did create in their world. Because if someone comes to me and says, Marshall, this hurt, then that's real for them. Even if that wasn't my intent, even if that is that same thing doesn't cause hurt for someone else, it's more like the impact there was hurt. So I can acknowledge that hurt. I can legitimize that hurt, hear them, and connect with them there. That is not always an easy process, I'll tell you, because it brings up big things in me that get to have that warmth and that care again, too. Because now I can trust that my choices are the best I can do right now, so I don't have to condemn myself there. Instead, I can connect again with that warmth and go, well, now we're learning something new here. Who do I want to be in this situation? How do I want to handle this? So what does this mean to our holiday experience, especially when we've made decisions to distance ourselves from family or from individuals that have brought harm into our world, or that we have left relationships that were not working for us, and now we live with that gap, that emptiness, that loneliness there? This is where that warmth and positive intent comes in towards these choices. It's like, I am willing to trust the positive intent, the active love I've made towards myself, and making this choice and creating this distance in my life with this person. I'm willing to lean into and recognize, acknowledge, and legitimize the act of love I made towards myself by ending that relationship and creating this gap in my world. It's a different kind of pain. The loneliness, the emptiness is a different kind of pain than being in a toxic relationship or a deficient relationship where you're not seen and valued for who you are. So we are exchanged pains at that point. Yet we can trust that this pain is a result of a healthy choice. Like, yep, I've made the right choice for me, and I'm willing to love and support myself as I move through this, and I'm willing to connect with others to receive support as I move through this. This is what it means to really love and care for ourselves and to really genuinely trust ourselves, both our past self, our present self, and our future self. This is the magic of our healing work here. This is what we do. This is the big work in breaking free of our codependency. We no longer need to rely on it to get our needs met, to direct our lives, or to produce what we're seeking. We can start to lean on ourselves, our own inherent goodness, our own inherent wholeness, and trust in our choices so that we can discover better ways of getting what we need in our life. Because it's really a skills game. It's not there's something wrong with me, and if there wasn't, I get what I want. It's more like skills and navigation of what shows up. It's a physics thing that way. It's just like I got to learn how the results I seek work, put in the proper actions that create those results, and persist in that cycle until I get what I'm looking for. That's what we do in my work. We start that with the foundation trainings because that's where we accelerate your freedom, peace, and healing after codependency. Then we go deep in becoming who you are in the codependency transformation system. And then we master joy and purpose in the Joy Innovator systems. Those more information will be coming out on the Joy Innovator next year. But right now, with the 2024 Freedom After Codependency promotion, you can get into the foundation trainings that's starting January for $249. That's 50% off the $497 that they'll be open for in January. And the Codependency Transformation System is currently closed, but there's a way to get into it, and that is through the Everything Forever program that gets you all my courses, past, present, and future forever, for one single fee, one investment there. That information is on the 2024 promotion link that's in the description below or on my front page at the website at healyourcodependency.com. My friends, trusting ourselves this way allows us to find a lot more peace, a lot more care for ourselves, to be our own ally, and we can end the self-doubt game and return to the self-trust game. It's like, oh, I learned from that. I can trust my ability to learn. I can trust my ability to gain different skills, to have different experiences, because that's what we're really good at. We're magical that way. We are explorers. We're not knowers. So employ that ability to discover on your behalf, and you'll get more of what you're seeking for in your life. Now, if you want assistance in this, you want the structure, you want the framework, you want the guidance, you want a proven path for that, join the foundation trainings if you're new to me, or get that Everything Forever program. And you can start with the Codependency Transformation System and go real deep in becoming who you are, because that's where your relationships emerge out of, that's where purpose merges out of, that's where your well-being and peace is really anchored into your world. So, my friends, go gentle with yourself this holiday season. Consider leaning into trusting yourself and the choices you've made in the past, in the present, and the ones you'll make in the future. You can start that with a what shifts question. What shifts if I trust just a bit in the choices I've made were the best I can make at that time for me? See what shifts for you there. And I will see you guys in our next episode. Go gently. Bye-bye. So thank you for watching this episode. And you want more episodes like this, check out the recommended video above. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're ready to take the leap and heal your codependency, check out my workshop linked below on how to heal codependency permanently. Then you can understand how I help you restore safety, connection, and worth in your life, and how that liberates you from your codependency and empowers you in creating the relationships, the satisfaction, fulfillment you want in your life. So check that out below. Thank you again for showing up, guys. Bye-bye.